Welcome to the Big Ten ACC Challenge on ESPN. From McCamish Pavilion in Atlanta, Georgia Tech welcomes Northwestern. Player to watch for Georgia Tech is Ben Lammers, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Then back to non-conference play.
Yeah, just another week in the Big Ten for these guys. You know, what I like about Northwestern is they have responded over the last week. And what they've done, it'll be interesting to see, is that ball moving at a good rate.
Off the mark is Vic Law. Yeah, they had that loss to Texas Tech by 36. The other loss against Creighton. Both those teams are ranked. Georgia Tech has won 3 in a row after returning from China, where it played UCLA and lost to the Bruins.
One thing we got to really watch for, Dave, is how difficult do they make Ben Lammers' catches, especially at the elbow. It's a great shot challenge.
Medical engineer student at Georgia Tech. Entry pass to Pardon, a little bit off the mark, and a Georgia Tech foul. They got Lammers for the foul. Here's Bryant McIntosh, second team All Big Ten a year ago. He'll take the jumper and bury it. A two-pointer for McIntosh.
Northwestern well. It's when they bring the four-man Gay into the game, or into the defensive coverages, that it could become a little different, because he can really switch out and cause some problems for you.
Georgia Tech still playing without a key guy in Josh Okogie, who's serving a suspension, also out with a finger injury. And palming is the call here in Alvarado, and go to the NIT title game a year ago.
Well, what he did is he did a very good job. Brian Gregory did a very underrated job here. What Josh did is he came in and he took some older guys. He gave them a style of play, offensively and defensively, for them to hang their hat on. And they got better and better. And we're seeing it right here. Their cutting, Dave, is maybe as good as any team I've watched this year. And it's certainly seen it a year ago when we were at Indiana. It is so hard to deal with the cuts that they make. They never waste a scoring cut.
Shot clock at 5. Pass broken up by Pardon. Lammers, with 2 on the timer, has to let it fly. And it did not hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation. What's funny, you bring up the cutting. And Josh Pastner, when he spoke to his team today at the end of practice, he said, think back to when you were a child. When you were 4 years old, if you saw a clown in the wilderness and you're by yourself and the clown's coming at you with a weapon. I don't know why he mentioned the clown. He said, run like that, like you're trying to get away from a clown in a forest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But I think he got everybody's attention.
He did, including
when
us.
He called it a machete.
Machete, that's right.
The clown coming with the machete. That would get my attention.
Yeah.
And as we create a three-point shot for the man stepping back. They've done a really good job of that.
Todrick Jackson checks into the game. He had missed 3 games due to a suspension.
The guy they really need to have get going, though, is Vic Law. And I'm very anxious to see what he's like. He's missed his first jumper tonight. What's he like if the shot's not going? Because they need his impact on all ends. Great play.
The step through by Ben Lammers.
Ben Lammers has got great feet, great footwork. And again, he's got a level of toughness, and he's got a level of physicality that he brings. And he's getting nothing but better and better. It's a good overload. They wanted to overload the zone.
Entry pass knocked away, but it ends up in the hands of Skelly. He gets it blocked, though, by Gay. Northwestern 0 for 4 in his last 4 trips down the court offensively. Deep entry pass. The layup won't go for Jackson.
Both teams feeling their way through. Already we've seen a couple of fast breaks where we didn't get a commitment from running from everybody.
Law misfires on the 3, rebounded by Curtis Haywood.
And this is the key for Vic Law. He gets the big assignment. All right, he's on Jose Alvarado right now, which is a great matchup in Northwestern's favor to put length on their point guard. And can he stay committed on the defensive end and the rebounding end if his shot is not falling?
With your team.
Absolutely. And it's rare to have somebody that young. And he's been well schooled. There's no question about that.
3-point try from the corner. Won't fall for Aaron Falzone, who is back after missing most of last year with a knee injury. They really need his shooting.
They really do. He creates so many issues for the opposing team's defense. When you have players like Gavin Skelly and Aaron Falzone.
3-point chance here for Lammers. He'll go back to the foul line. Second trip to the line already in the game, and this is again Vic Law for the foul.
Aaron Falzone and Gavin Skelly are really hard for people to match up with because of the way they space the floor. And the physicality of the game in Texas Tech was harder for Bryant McIntosh. Bryant McIntosh guarding the first couple dribbles like that is a step in the right direction for Northwestern's defense.
Lammers turn and shoot, not there. And Gay couldn't hit the stick back. The 19th annual Big Ten ACC Challenge continues Wednesday. We got Michigan, North Carolina, Duke, Indiana. A lot of great games this week. Gay puts it on the deck, and the baseline cut off. And Gay puts up an air ball, well defended by the smaller McIntosh. McIntosh unable to finish. That's 8 straight misses now for Northwestern, 1 for 10 for the game. Off the mark with the 3 is Jackson. Well, they get Jordan Ash on the floor now to run the point, give McIntosh a break. They get it again in the high post to Lammers. Jose Alvarado, the New York City Catholic League Player of the Year, a freshman. Shot clock at 5. Lammers, tough shot, it won't fall. And rebounded by Vic Law. Northwestern has gone more than 6 minutes now without a basket.
You know what, though, Dave, as a coach, you're not overly concerned because you're getting back in transition. You haven't given up open, easy shots to Georgia Tech other than the lob up to Lammers. They're 1 of 11 in the game. They have 0 offensive rebounds. They've got to get more energy to the glass, more movement to the glass. They're there. Too many times there's 1 or 2 people going to the boards.
Good ball movement here, and McIntosh,
great ball movement,
able to pay it off with a 3-pointer, and that gets Northwestern within 4.
That was excellent, Dave, because they drove the ball baseline. They hit the drift, which is the man in the corner.
Now McIntosh averaging 15 points per game this year. Holds the school record for assists, and he's number 12 all time in scoring. Tech unable to answer, missed 3 by Alvarado.
Jose missed that shot because he faded back. He took a corner 3 and he fell back on it. You're never going to hit shots like that.
Skelly to the bucket, counted, and a foul. 5 straight points by the Wildcats, and a 3-point opportunity now for Gavin Skelly. And that's 2 fouls on Ben Lammers. You made the point earlier, normally doesn't foul.
No, you're exactly right. I hope we didn't jinx him early. He didn't hear us.
Tech, meanwhile, 2 for 9 from the floor. Most of their points coming at the line. They're 5 of 5 at the stripe.
But already you can see the game has changed because of ball movement and the fact that Skelly is so aggressive coming back into the game.
Jackson misses, and now Northwestern with a chance to take the lead. McIntosh.
That's a big play because they got the switch with Gay, who's 6'9", and Bryant McIntosh arched his shot. That basket went in because the arc he got on his shot. He does an excellent job of raising up and shooting over top, and Gay did not get his hands up.
Foul on the floor, no basket, and they get Vic Law for the personal. That's 2 on him.
I think the biggest thing is, will the guards continue to move the ball at a really high rate? Right now you've got Bryant McIntosh with 34 assists.
About 40 pounds and grown 4 inches. He's become an entirely different player.
Very aggressive. And again, he'll be the beneficiary of what we talked about. When it drops to the corner, which it didn't.
Ash no good on the 3. Gay trying to save it and couldn't communicate with Jackson. Threw it right off his own guy.
They'll keep the ball. And that's something that has to be constantly built and broken to make you a better offensive player, a better shooter.
He's 0 for 6 on the year. Lindsey with a little airspace, but can't knock it down. Harden tried to get the offensive rebound, and Georgia Tech knocked the ball out of bounds.
Off of his back foot, falling away off 2 passes.
He has not scored yet. He's 0 for 3 from the floor. He does have 2 assists. Law into the paint, and Guy is called for the foul.
Will Tom Izzo wear the hoodie, and will Mike Bray wear a shirt?
The putback won't fall. Well, you're telling me it's the first time you've worn a tie in a while, because last year you went without the tie,
and
right?
For the last couple of years. And it's cutting off my circulation, but I'm getting used to it.
I usually work with a guy who has tie-dye on, so
absolutely.
I like your attire much better.
I don't think I'm there yet.
Harden puts it in, and a 3-point opportunity.
Call Dave a range rebounder. Don't just rebound the ball in your area. Get out of it a little bit. Dererk Harden is a very quick player. There you see him do his work early. I'd like to see him go up with 2 hands to really make sure that he gets that foul, but he was aggressive. He got his body on the defender. He went up and got the board. It was an excellent play.
They get right for the foul. Well, Pardon last year had the SB Play of the Year on March 1st that made everybody realize that Northwestern indeed was going to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Ended up beating Vanderbilt in the first round, hung in there against the #1 seed Gonzaga for losing that game in the second round. Nice finish that time by Abdoulaye Gay.
He's such a key tonight. I know he's not a household name by any stretch of the imagination, but he's made some passes. He's a big defender for them. And with Lammers in foul trouble, he's got to be a huge presence inside the paint.
Falzone taking it to the goal. Strong move by Aaron Falzone.
What they're doing early on is they are playing out of the corners, and that's something that Chris Collins wants this team to be able to do. Not just shoot from the corners, but drive out of it. When Aaron Falzone is breaking you down and getting into the middle of the floor, that's good for everyone on the Northwestern side. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Looked like there may have been a travel there by Georgia Tech. No whistle. Tech with good ball movement.
And no hesitation, the ball comes out of the corner right to the wing for an open three. That is very hard to guard.
Yellow Jackets back up 5 inside 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Law takes it strong. Back-to-back buckets at the rim with Lammers on the bench in foul trouble. And Gay trying not to pick up that third.
What we always tell our team is the game is always giving you something. Right now, the game is giving Northwestern that left corner. They don't have to settle for threes. They're getting drives, and they're getting a chance to get to the rim. Very good basketball.
Jackson penetrates, and a good dish to Gay. And Gay scores.
There he is. And that's exactly what they need from him. They start him at the 4 position, but he has to go in and play that inside spot, that 5 spot, center spot when he comes out of the game, and he's doing fantastic with it.
Both offenses picking things up here in the last 5 minutes.
Great next pass.
McIntosh with the floater, made one of those earlier. That one won't go, and the rebound by Gay.
Oh, this is fun. This pace is picked up. The energy in the crowd is picked up. Right now, I think the pace of the game really favors Northwestern. But the fact of the matter is Georgia Tech has picked up the pace without Lammers in the game right now. But again, the pace of the game still favors Northwestern right now.
Shot clock is down to 5.
Great next pass.
The shot won't go for Jackson.
I had no idea that Gay was this type of passer. He's begging for a chance to get out of this game right now, and I know they're waiting for the next whistle.
Yeah, he's
but
tired.
He's continuing to play.
Yep, tired. Also got 2 fouls. Unable to finish his gains in the lane, but an extra possession. McIntosh too strong.
And you've got an athletic director that sets the tone and sets the mark with your coaches, and you know you're in it together like that. It gives you so much confidence. Goodness.
Auburn, Oklahoma, Wisconsin is the top 4. Ohio State #8 is a part of the Harbaugh family. Are you okay with that?
I have no choice. I have no choice. My hat's off. They were very, very good. We had a chance to see our first Michigan-Ohio State game the other day, and it was a well-played game. There wasn't a turnover to the last 2.5 minutes of the game. Obviously, we want Michigan to win, but Ohio State is really good. Their leading 3-point shooter, he shot that with confidence. He was ready to shoot. The pass was on time, on target, which is a key to any type of shooting situation.
Alvarado trying to answer, can't.
Yeah, not a good shot.
But a foul on Northwestern. Lammers with the pass underneath to Jackson, and now is trying to help him with his confidence.
I thought that was great, because I think one of the things that Brian McIntosh can do is lead his team more on the floor. And I think for him to do it off the floor like that and us to have a chance to see that was excellent.
Shot clock at 5 here in the first possession of the second half. Gay from outside. He has attempted 7 threes now on the year, so that's not entirely unusual for him to take that. He's made a couple of them. Here's Vic Law, did not shoot the ball well either in the first half, but gets off to a good start here in the second.
That's what they need. They got some reversals, and if I'm Chris Collins coming out of halftime, I'm feeling good, because you've got Bryant McIntosh at 4 for 12, and you've got Scotty Lindsey and Vic Law combined 1 for 8. and you're only down 6 on the road at Georgia Tech in an ACC school, I'm feeling okay. And that start right there for Vic Law and Northwestern was good.
Alston on the handoff gets it back to Lammers. And that was good defense by Pardon. Here's Lindsay still looking for his first points, and a nice play by Alvarado to get the steal. Alvarado going 1 on 4 and boarded by Pardon.
Possession before, and Curtis Hayward the second. He's got to give that ball to him there. Right now, Northwestern is getting themselves established and settling in, and they're feeling better about their offense, which is going to make the defense go up a notch.
Alston can't hit the pull-up. Nice play by Gay to knock it away from Skelly.
Sure is. That is one of the things, Dave, that happens so much early on right now. One-hand passes, one-hand casual rebound. Skelly went up for the ball, didn't jump. Gay comes out of nowhere, grabs it with 2 hands, keeps the possession alive.
Alvarado weaving through traffic. And a foul is called. So Pardon on the bench, picking up his 3rd foul. Falzone checks into the game. Benson as well for Northwestern. Into the lane it goes, count the basket, and a foul.
They kept the ball on one side of the floor, and this is where Georgia Tech is so good, because all the action's here. Now watch out, everybody is watching the ball. There's the back cut from Haywood, who has become, if you talk to the coaches.
And Coach, at Northwestern last year, one of the hallmarks of their team was just how unified and connected they were on both ends of the floor. Are you seeing that tonight from Northwestern?
Well, I think it's gotten better, because great pass right there. There's an example of it right there. They got the ball reversed. Vic Law has had 3 tough games, and he came out in this second. He had 30 points against Creighton. Okay, in the last 3 games, all right, he was 10 of 26 and 3 for 15 from the 3. So Law to come out and continue to play, in answer to your question, Dave, I think it's good. They're connected right now. But this, again, is where having Falzone and Skelly allowing Chris goes to the bench to do different things and still be a big factor in the game and make it hard for people to match up with him.
Georgia Tech misses a free throw but gets the rebound. Lammers against Benson.
It's the cuts, Dave. It's the cuts. They're moving. You've got to be so aware on that weak side.
Lammers spinning with the fall away on the baseline, and they're going to say that Benson bumped him. Lammers off of 1 foot. Alston with a hustle to get the loose ball.
That's what they need from him. He's got 2 years left with them. Played at Lehigh. Watching him today, watching him on film, and watching him tonight, that young man is all business when Brandon Alston comes out onto the floor, and they need those hustle plays from him.
He graduated and then transferred from Lehigh with 2 years of eligibility left to play for the Yellow Jackets. Alston with a spin, can't finish, and Northwestern now with an opportunity here in transition. Falzone will let it fly, won't fall. Nice tap out by Law. And McIntosh in the paint gets it to go.
Well, little thing right there. Vic Law not having a great shooting night, but he hustles, he keeps the game alive, taps it to McIntosh. Great elevation on that runner. You just hope that everything goes well for her and her entire family.
Yeah, she said she got to get back to Chicago to be with her son and family for Thanksgiving. We certainly wish her the best as in her fight. Alvarado gets the basket and the foul.
The cuts were excellent. They get a weak side cut, which has been the #1 thing that they've done. That is why Josh Pastner will tell you how much time he spends on cutting. So they're not going to beat you shooting threes, and they've already made 3 tonight. They're going to beat you because they rebound, they cut, they got layups. And the layups are a little harder to come by for Northwestern because of Lammers in the middle of the zone.
Pardon underneath, unable to get it to drop.
And they're looking for the break, and when it's not there, they come down and set up. And this is when they're at their best, when they can get into this half-court offense, play off Lammers at the top of the key, and run these cuts and back cuts.
And there's no reason to think, I mean, obviously Duke and Carolina, Notre Dame.
Oh, no question. And I love what Josh is doing, and he's got an outstanding staff. Tavares Hardy did a fantastic job with this scout.
Three-pointer for Vic Law.
Winner at University of Portland. He's got Julian Schwartz, who's done a fantastic job for him. But It'd be remiss. Brian and Yvette Gregory did a fantastic job of bringing some players into this program.
Bench.
When you think about Lammers, Dave, he was recruited by Marquette. He was recruited by Miami and Georgia Tech. That's a good play, though, for Northwestern. When Aaron Falzone was a freshman, we game planned him. He was one of the top 3 guys on the Northwestern team at Indiana that we would game plan for because of his shooting. He'll knock that down. He's too good a shooter.
Northwestern is a team struggling from three-point land. 4 of 18 in the game. Overall, 31% shooting for the Wildcats. Jackson's 3, not there. And Gay reaches in and fouls Parton. That's his 3rd, and done such an amazing job in Evanston. And obviously was an assistant at Duke, a player at Duke for 13 years as a coach under Mike Krzyzewski.
Now, no question, he's been around the best, and it started at birth. When you get a chance to be around Doug and Kathy Collins every day and being with Doug. I know how much basketball I've learned from Doug, and I don't see him very much. I can't imagine what it's like to be around him on a daily basis.
Well, I sat next to him a lot last year calling NBA games, and believe me, I learned a ton. Now a senior advisor for the Chicago Bulls, obviously a great player and a great coach as well. Vic Law with the basket and a three-point opportunity here for Northwestern.
And what he got was a backside cut. We'll see this as we look at the replay. Bryant loves to refuse the pick and roll. Our numbers used to have him refusing the pick and roll probably 60% of the time for their 3rd free throw of the night.
And Gay rather just picked up his 4th foul. So he comes out of the game. And Law able to knock down the free throw. All Big Ten defensive performer. A year ago, his offense has been key though here in the second half as the Wildcats are within 6 of Georgia Tech.
Now the game gets different without Gay. Can Moses Wright come in and bring the same level? All right, because right now we can see they're not guarding him very much. They're way off of him as he stands outside the three-point line helping on Lammers.
Alvarado with the drive goes to the left hand, and they're going to call a blocking foul.
Bobbed his head. And Mike Eads, he was the lead referee in the national championship game last year. So it's hard to argue with him when he's making calls. They could have had the foul on the reach. There's a reach there. And of course, and the statute of limitations is up. Well, right now, if he's going to impact the Dave game, it's got to come down here on the defensive end. His body language has got to be strong. He's got to be aggressive. He can't let the fact he's not making shots affect the rest of his teammates.
Alvarado, no. Rebounded
good non-call. Good non-call there. He tried to draw the contact.
Great catch and finish by Vic Law in transition.
Scotty Lindsey can get a lesson from Vic Law tonight. Vic Law has not been shooting the ball well the last few games. He has never let it impact him tonight with his defense, with his hustle, with his ability to pass the ball. He's impacting this game in a big way.
And Law with 10 of his 12 points coming here in the second half. Where will Georgia Tech go for the answer? Can they get the ball to Lammers on the low block? They tried to feed it cross court to him and they turned it over. He had 19 in his last game and 20 plus in his previous 2 games.
Dave, I got to make the point. He let the disappointment of the last miss affect him on getting beat by a back cut right there. He was living in his last shot that didn't go in. He gave up a layup. You can't do that when you're a senior, when you're as good and you've been through as many things as Scotty Lindsey has had to deal with in his career. Injuries, not winning, going to the tournament. He's got to be a leader for this group. That's when you turn the film on the next day and you lose your mind as a coach. When a player, because that's committing. You missed the shot, so what? Get back, get a stop. When you give up a layup like that because you're feeling sorry for yourself, you can't do that. That's what drives coaches absolutely nuts and breaks teams down when they're trying to win the game.
Shot clock at 3. Out to Jackson. Buries a 3. The shot clock will be reset to 20. That's a new rule this year.
Excellent penetration. Alvarado keeps the head up. Keeps his head up the whole way, drives into the paint, makes the kick out. I got to settle down. I'm ready to call a timeout.
Well, Chris Collins is standing literally right in front of you. Both of you are doing the same action.
Not mine, but I know what his mind is saying right now. He wants Scotty Lindsey to play through this. And right now, this is where they've got to bond together and get a couple of stops in a row.
Lammers up top. And the shot clock inside 10 again. Jackson will try another three.
Good defense. Oh, but he didn't block it out.
No, he did not,
Yeah.
and Jackson ran to his own miss.
Northwestern basketball is a lot about those hustle points, and they're getting out scrapped for balls right now, which has got to change if they're going to have a chance to come back from this 10-point deficit for a long period of time. They're going to need Miles better and certainly healthier as they go into this next game with Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is fearless.
And this is always big for both conferences, but especially for the Big Ten, because as there's a strip and a steal by Northwestern, the Big Ten conference play starts this week. They're actually playing games in early December. Northwestern's got Illinois on Friday, and a foul here, so free throws coming for Parton.
And being able to max out your students when your students are in the building, their students are there. So the home teams, obviously you're going to get a game on the road and at home. It's going to really set the tone for your students, for your fans that aren't, but I think it's very good.
Well, what's interesting for Northwestern is even though those are home games, they're not playing at home in Rosemont at Allstate Arena, which was DePaul's home for 37 years.
Well, and that's a tough place to play, and it can be a very good home court advantage because they can score, they can defend, and they're very well connected, and they're very well coached. People need to come out and support Northwestern and get into that arena because it's not normal for these guys to not be playing on their campus. And they have a chance to have a very special year.
Coming off their first NCAA tournament appearance and a win in the first round. Out of bounds off of Georgia Tech. 5 to shoot for Northwestern. Here's Law with a timer at 2. Knocked away. Timer at 3, actually. That's an awkward inbounding spot, but they find an open man, and Ash.
Big three. This is what you need. Great presence, great skip pass, as we're going to see here. Great skip pass from a guy that doesn't make it. That just drives the whole energy of the team. A big possession right here for Northwestern.
Almost a turnover by Georgia Tech. Lammers calling for it, and he's double teamed. And Lammers is out of bounds.
Because Jordan Ash has come in and electrified this team.
A steal by Law. Georgia Tech has turned it over on its last 4 possessions. That's helped Northwestern get back in the game. Down 6. Great pass, McIntosh. The dunk by Parton to get the Wildcats within 4.
Great play. Watch Bryant McIntosh. The head is up the whole way. Lammers, he hesitates to dribble, puts the ball over the top. There was no help because of the shooters on the floor. And it's hard to help when you've got Falzone on the court because he can stretch the floor and you've got to honor him.
And the energy, Tom, we've seen here in the last couple minutes looks a lot like Northwestern of last year.
And I hope Scotty Lindsey's paying attention to this because he can bring the same level of energy as a player. Jordan Ash has impacted this team, and it wasn't just the 3, it's how hard he's playing.
Another turnover by Georgia Tech. That's 5 straight possessions where the Yellow Jackets had turned it over. We hit the 4-minute mark. Georgia Tech by 4. McIntosh, the catch and finish by Parton makes it a 2-point game and a timeout by Georgia Tech.
To get the ball reversed, get some action, and get a cut that sucks in the defense.
And you can hear the Northwestern coaches in front of us, they keep calling out back cut, hoping their defenders have their heads
It got stagnant. Tadrick Jackson isn't moving, and it's taken away that ability to cut. Now the court's open back up again.
And the shot clock is down to 3.
Bad shot.
10 straight points for Northwestern.
This is where leadership comes in, and their best leader is sitting over on the bench, and Josh Okogie. The cutting is slowed down. They need 1 basket to get their momentum back and get their confidence back in this game.
Now Okogie out with a suspension and injury. Shot clock down to 4. Loose ball. Northwestern basketball timeout called by Law on the floor.
It's bring bad body language to it. See, there's no separation. He's got Vic Law. The length is the problem.
He's healthy now. He's much improved.
But Gay he was never able to shake Gay on that play, and Gay was able to change his shot with his length. There. Good start of a possession. They're getting reversal.
But there's just nothing open in terms of driving lanes or passing lanes.
Absolutely.
The timer down to 5. They get it out, though, for Gay. Got a good look, but too strong on the 3. Lammers with the back tap. And a Northwestern foul. They're saying that McIntosh had a hold of the hip. McIntosh lost the ball. Out of bounds off Northwestern. Northwestern is over the foul limit. The next foul, they'll still have a 1-and-1.
There's the cut. Now they're going to play off the high post.
Jackson into a double team, trying to get it to Lammers, and he turns it over, and then a foul is called.
Now you're seeing why Chris Collins has so much affinity for what Victor Law can do as a defender. Not only does he get the other team's best offensive player, but right now he's made two great plays with his length by not overcommitting to the passer, using his length for pressure and knowing that they're trying to throw the ball into the post.
To the corner, three-ball foul zone, no good. Rebound, Pardon, and he puts it in with 7 seconds left. Northwestern by 1.
When we see this, he did a great job of escaping an average blockout on this weak side. Law made a great choice to make the next pass. Oh, Jose Alvarado, that's going to get run back in film. You've got to fight. You're not necessarily going to get that ball, but you've got to fight inside late in the game. And he let him back him out. That is a tough play, but a great rebound by Pardon to finish on the weak side of the glass.
Georgia Tech without a field goal the last 8 minutes of regulation. Alvarado with 3. Got to give it up. Jackson gets to the basket and scores, and Georgia Tech wins the game. Todrick Jackson, after Georgia Tech went 8 minutes without a field goal, scores at the horn to give the Yellow Jackets the victory.
I should say. Alvarado's looking. They take away the middle of the floor. He wants Lammers. Falzone's not sure if he's in the corner. He and Law don't do a great job of communication. Jackson beats him off one dribble. He's by him, and he has the presence of mind to finish strong off the board. Look at Alvarado's head. Give the young man credit for playing with his head up, not trying to make the play himself.